This is ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Alan Cohn, and welcome to ABC 7 at 7. We know what happened. We want to know why. And federal authorities continue to do their best to put together the puzzle that was Omar Mateen, the man who took 49 lives, injuring 53 others in an Orlando LGBT nightclub. Regulars at the Pulse nightclub say Mateen had, in fact, been to the nightclub numerous times over several years. His wife is reportedly telling the FBI she knew of his plans and had even driven him there in the past and tried to talk him out of it. Mateen pledging his allegiance to ISIS, but today's date, there is no evidence he was working with anyone.
We currently do not have any information to indicate that a foreign terrorist group directed the attack in Orlando. It is increasingly clear, however, that the killer took in extremist information and propaganda over the internet.
ISIS was quick to take credit for the attack. The Islamic Society of Sarasota and Bradenton is publicly condemning the Orlando attack. Sarasota's mosque is opening its doors to anyone with questions or concerns. Members of the actions of the gunman don't reflect Islam or the holy month of Ramadan.
Any good work that I feel that the Muslim community does, it's like it's thrown out the window every time something horrific like this happens.
The Islamic Society is requesting increased security from the sheriff's office for its evening prayer services. A Siesta Key resident is suing Sarasota County in a battle to protect one of the last stretches of beachfront roads. Last month, commissioners voted to vacate rights to Beach Road on Siesta Key, opening up the adjacent land for development. The Siesta Key Association also opposes the county's decision, saying it will limit the public's access to the beach. Now to Manatee County, where we are awaiting a decision from the school board over a settlement with former Assistant Superintendent Bob Gagnon. Bob Gagnon was dismissed from the district during the Rod Frazier child abuse investigation. He was accused of turning a blind eye. He has since been cleared of all wrongdoing. The board is expected to decide whether or not to pay a $400,000 settlement to Gagnon. If approved, it would end Gagnon's lawsuit against the district. Tropical Storm Colin is gone, but not forgotten. We're still learning more about the toll it took on local beaches. Besides losing as much as 10 feet of sand in places, Sarasota and Manatee say damages to the public beaches was minimal, but it's a much different story for homes and businesses where the damage is running into hundreds of thousands of dollars.
We fared very well with Tropical Storm Colin, but you know, for those individuals that were damaged, that's very detrimental to them.
Longboat Key took the brunt of the damage with a $20 million renourishment project just wiped away. Bob, I hope there's nothing else like that coming anytime soon.
Well, as far as we can see, there's nothing happening. Indications are early next week. There may be something down in the Caribbean or off the coast of the Carolinas, but right now, not a concern at all. In fact, a little drier air has slipped in, and shower and thunderstorm activity is to a minimum this afternoon and evening, and looks like that'll stay that way throughout the day on Wednesday. Get a look at the Bimini Bay webcam from Anna Maria Island. A beautiful afternoon and lots of sunshine. Temperatures warming up today in the low 90s inland, upper 80s near the coast, and you can see not much to show you on the Titan radar loop. There were some showers around earlier into Manatee County, some near Port Charlotte. They're not lasting all that long because they're running into some very dry air in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. Still some flood warnings in effect for the Peace River near Arcadia and also the Myakka River at the Myakka State Park. There were some storms inland, over an inch of rainfall there at the border of Manatee and Hardy County. And as far as our current conditions go, sunshine, a few high clouds around. Heat index still high at 99 degrees. That's what it feels like. It's actually gone up a couple degrees within the last half hour. Dew point is at 75. We have a west wind at 8. And the pressure 2997. That's holding steady. Our high today 91. Our low this morning just 10 degrees cooler at 81. A very warm start to this morning, and no rainfall officially at the Sarasota Bradenton Airport today. Most of the rain falling inland. Well, the tide's upcoming for Sarasota Bay. High tide at 10:11, and a low tide will be at 3:47, and then another high tide at 9:45. The forecast for boaters: A light chop on the bays and inland waters, winds out of the southwest at 5 to 10. The extended forecast does call for an increasing chance for showers and storms as we head into the weekend. And it looks like the timing of them may be a little different. Instead of late afternoon and evening, we could see some morning coastal storms and some late night storms.
Just lovely.
Yes. All right.
Thanks a lot, Bob. And still to come, Venice's library closed back down in February. So where does the effort to find a new location stand, and what is being done in the interim? That story when we come back.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct pricing.
Plus, New South windows are made in Florida.
Ford Florida Home.
By Florida workers. Because we know Florida weather.
Bring your measurements this Saturday from 9 to 4 to get huge discounts. New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
US Med has great news for anyone living with diabetes.
If you have Medicare, private insurance, or prescription drug coverage, US Med will ship a new glucose meter right to your home.
And shipping is free.
My new meter uses only a speck of blood, so it's less painful than my previous meter.
If you have Medicare, private insurance, or prescription drug coverage, you're covered with US Med. We're welcoming new patients, even if your current provider can't supply you anymore.
I don't even have to test on my fingers anymore. I can test on my hand or forearms, and it's more accurate than my old meter.
So call US Med today, and you'll have a choice of 2 great meters.
One that actually speaks your results, or a meter so small it fits on the bottle of strips.
Act now, and US Med will include a free prescription discount card. We'll also send you a free diabetes cookbook. This is your opportunity.
So call US Med today.
You'll be glad you did.
ABC 7's Pump Patrol, a list of the Suncoast's cheapest gas on mysuncoast.com.
Residents of Venice want their library back. The saga has been going on for a year. Mold forced the closing of the 50-year-old building, and for more than a year, the county has been trying to figure out what to do. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley has covered the story since the beginning and joins us now with more. Christopher.
Well, good evening. By my count, Alan, we have covered this story 11 times over the last year. At first began with a look at the mold. Now there's a plan for the new building. And while it is preliminary, what we do know is it will be built on Venice's cultural campus on the site of the old library. Back in January, Sarasota County decided to close the Venice Library, citing years' worth of concern about mold. We saw it for ourselves months earlier, in May of 2015, during a short visit inside a sealed-off adjoining building, proved there was mold all over the place. Now, months later, the library is closed, and work has begun on its replacement.
There are not an endless number of potential sites on the island or near the island.
That has caused quite the headache for Sarasota County staff as they grapple with where to put the new library.
Love to see them fix the old library. That was a fabulous place. I really miss that.
The county says the source of the mold is believed to be the soil underneath the building, and as a result, the building can't be fixed. So work began deciding where a new building could be built, but even that caused many in the public to speak out.
The public was not informed of what was taking place, how quickly the library was closed.
In the time since the building was closed, the county has held numerous workshops inviting the public to give their input for what they would like to see in a new library. That information would then help the county decide where the new library should be.
It's our responsibility to look at what have people told us that they want in that new service, and then what combination of criteria and factors contribute to the best location.
Now, the decision has been made. The new library will be built on the same cultural campus as the old library, but not necessarily on the same plot of land.
Somewhere in that block where currently there is the Venice Community Center and the Venice Arts Center.
The most important factor was that the library stay in this area and on the island.
Keeping the library on the island of Venice is a big deal, according to Venice Council member Fred Fraze.
Going to settle a lot of unrest in the city of Venice.
The county has hired the firm Sweet Sparkman Architects in Sarasota to design the new building. They are looking at preliminary plans. It'll take years before a new building is open for business, so in the meantime, the Hamilton building in Venice has been outfitted to be a temporary library to the tune of $250,000.
My concern is parking, the bicycle trail, the facilities for handicapped people.
The county says it's working to address those issues. The project manager told us they hope to have this location up and running by August. During the entire library debacle, a lot of weight has been placed on libraries director Sarah Beth Kalajian. Whether it's justified or not, as a former librarian at the Venice Library, closing it wasn't an easy decision.
You can't imagine a worse decision than to knowingly have to recommend that a library that is so beloved and so used and so valued for many reasons would have to be closed.
Well, the county is currently in negotiations with the architects. They hope to have an initial plan soon, and then they'll decide where on the Venice Cultural Campus the library will be built. And Alan, it could be 2 or 3 years until we see that new building.
All right, Christopher, thank you. And in a moment, our roundtable.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
Call right now to get your free Senior Care Compass ebook. Find out about the 5 best-kept secrets on financing senior care and assisted living.
Call now, 800-290-0352. 800-290-0352.
Florida Studio Theater presents the fabulous Lipitones, now held over by popular demand. A high note leaves the Barbershop Quartet without their 4th member just before the national competition. What ensues is a comedy of misunderstanding, stereotypes, and the path to perfect harmony that critics say has laughs galore and gets right to the heart. Buy tickets now by calling 941-366-9000 or visit floridastudiotheater.org.
Joining us for more on tonight's topic is Jack Sullivan, a Venice resident who offered to put up his own money to remediate the original Venice Library. Luann Wood, she led the petition drive to postpone the closing of the Venice Library, and ABC reporter Christopher Brantley, who has been covering this story for a year now. Thank you all for joining us. And I guess it's amazing that this has gone on for so long without something in place at the moment in order for Venice residents to get their library back. And Jack, you know, what do you think? I mean, where did this go wrong?
The lack of notice before it was closed. The exciting thing is that your voice does matter in our community. And fortunately, we've had this channel covering the news so that people were more aware, even of our petitions that we were able to get people to sign. So the awareness went up, and your constant coverage has helped awareness of what has happened. But it was closed on an arbitrary and capricious basis and then backfilled all of the reasons why it was closed, except we didn't get any notice. This has been a really safe harbor for children in 3 different schools to come till their parents are finished work, and for folks to come and watch movies at night, people that use the library on a regular and consistent basis. It was a shock. Fortunately, it happened in the middle of the season, which was another shock. But we rallied the troops. Luann led the group. We have several people, engineers, that donate their time and effort, and we came up with a plan.
You know, Luann, despite maybe some missteps here, the fact is if mold is present, it presents a clear and present danger to people who would be there. I mean, a lot of people can get sick, especially people who already have, a certain kind of problems. And now it appears that the answer is to build a new building nearby. If the situation is, as Christopher reported in the story, that the mold is underneath the building, is there something wrong with the land around there that may cause something similar from happening again?
Well, I attended the county commissioners meeting on January 12th, and in their docket they only had 2 documents. They had the lease of the property and staff's recommendation. There's a Pure Air report dated January 6, 2016, which was a very large report that said there was more mold outside than there was inside, and that was ordered by Sarasota County.
And how does that compare to other buildings, maybe in the same general area, or many buildings in Florida? After all, we tend to get a lot of rain.
Well, ironically, the Venice Community Center, which is in the same cultural campus, the city of Venice just gave $75,000 to remedy a mold issue there. So fundamentally, let's go back to the library for a moment and then the community center. Where is the accountability for Sarasota County's employees who are paid to monitor and fix mold as it occurs? You don't close a room off when you have mold, you remedy the problem in your own home. They haven't done that. So there's a question there of accountability.
Christopher, what kind of effort has there been to hold county officials responsible and to find out what they have been doing and when they have been doing it?
Well, as Luann has found, a lot of these reports have been put online. We've been given copies of these reports. I should point out that there is a building next to the library. It is an adjacent building. It is connected to it, to the library. It is sealed off because that room was a large community room, had mold in it. Last year in May, the mayor and I went into that room, and you immediately can tell there's mold in there. Not only is it on the floor, it's in the air. And so you know that there's mold in there, and as you said, it's in the community center as well. They have released a lot of these reports saying that there is mold in there and that they have tried for years and years to remedy the problem, but have been unsuccessful because it keeps coming back.
So is it a wise idea to build a new library in basically the same location?
It'll be in the same block, so to speak.
Sure.
There's a lot of room in there, so they could tear down the original library. It's a matter of spending taxpayers' dollars wisely. Venice purchased this Hamilton building complex for $995,000. Subsequent to that, they've rented it to the county for $10. The county is spending $250,000 to make it ADA compliant plus other things, while this library is under consideration. Now it's been decided it'll be on the cultural campus. The land is fine there. The art center is there. The community center is there. The library is there. Lack of maintenance and discipline and follow-up has created the mold problem.
And I do want to point out that the building is 50 years old, the Venice Library. It had just celebrated, and correct me if I'm wrong, it had just celebrated its 50th anniversary. Largely to the county's point is, we got 50 years out of this building. We're ready to build a new one. And the members of the community that I went out and spoke to over the last 11 stories or 12 stories, and then went out this morning, a lot of them are very happy to have a new library with new amenities in it. It'll be much like the Gulfgate Library, which has all kinds of new computers and things of the nature. So the county's point is largely, we got 50 years out of this building. It has a problem. Let's tear it down and start again.
But Luann, as Christopher reported, you're spending $250,000 to temporarily make another building into a library. Do you think that this could have been done more efficiently and in another way?
There were no plans in place. The county commissioners made that decision on January 12th. The library was closed at the end of January. There was not one plan in place.
So there was just no planning?
Absolutely not.
And Christopher, let me ask you this. If the problem at this particular site is mold in the ground over the structures, how do you prevent that from happening again?
that would be the million-dollar question, and if we could answer that, we could probably get the contract with the county. But the main issue that they're talking about is once that building is removed, if they want to build something on that building, they're going to have to remove feet and feet of soil and replace it with new soil, and then put some sort of plastic coating, I can't remember the name of it, some sort of plastic coating down before they build the building on top of it to ensure that that moisture doesn't come in. As we said at the Venice Community Center, on the same site, they had the exact same underground problem.
Jack and Luann, we only have a couple of seconds left, but are you pleased or satisfied with, now that there seems to be an idea of where a new library will go and what the timeline will be?
Well, we're very pleased that the City Council voted it unanimously, and the County Commissioners also voted, but it would have slipped through the cracks if I had not gone to that meeting and got in touch with these people that have helped me. We got over 4,400 signatures just standing in front of the library.
Congratulations, Jack.
We're delighted that the people of Venice spoke up, and you folks have covered the story so that action happened. Otherwise, it would not have happened.
Good job, Christopher.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all for joining us tonight, and we'll be back in just a moment.
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again, and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-476-8967. 1-800-476-8967.
You know what scares me? No electricity. Yeah, when this magical box suddenly stops working, I call the pros at Mr. Sparky and they send a superhero to save the day. How's it going, Pablo?
It's going great, Mike.
Pablo possesses amazing skill. He can perform incredible feats at blinding speed. Superhero!
Couldn't have done it without you.
Modest, too.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Just to be clear, I don't live here.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
I'm Dale Mast, and we're celebrating 40 years on the west coast of Florida.
It's our 40th anniversary, and it's time for a celebration, the Culligan Hydration Celebration. For a limited time, celebrate by taking $250 off any Culligan home system. That's $250 off Culligan water softener systems, drinking water systems, or whole house water filters. Help us celebrate our 40th anniversary, and remember,
for better water, pure and simple, call today and say, "Hey, Culligan man."
49 lives taken, 53 injured. Many of you at home and here have been probably debating gun control and terrorism with your friends and your family, but what should not be forgotten in this tragedy is the impact upon our friends and our loved ones and the LGBT community. Last night, Sarasota showed its support with a massive vigil. Thousands turned out to offer their support, lighting candles in honor of the victims and remembering Sarasota's own Edward Sotomayor. And here is what you had to say. Lisa Gregory writes, "It was so touching being there, feeling the outpouring of love from literally thousands of folks in Sarasota County and surrounding communities was absolutely a beautiful and strengthening experience. One love, we are all one people, human people." John Carpenter writes, Our hearts ache over the loss of such a dear soul. I did not know you, but I heard the wonderful tribute of the man you were. May healing come to your family and your friends. May we never forget the huge loss of your life and others. And Ryan McCauley writes, I wish this was just a bad dream. I am would wake up from already. I lost Eddie and countless others. Hold up those candles, because we may be knocked down, but we will not be defeated. And if you'd like to join the conversation about tonight's topic, just visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/news@7. And that is all the time we have for this evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alan Cohn. Have a good night.